we're disconnected but still very connected. And I think the online world is like unlimited now. But I have to say this. Every single time she comes on screen, she looks so sweet, so pretty, and yet manages to deliver the box office. It's going to be a little different now with Indoo ki Jawani, because no box office. We'll find out how she's feeling about that. Kiara Advani, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Pleasure's all mine.
Last year's been crazy for everyone, but it's almost like everyone's making up for lost time. In the last 2 months, everyone's doing like a million things at one go. Are you also in that overdrive mode?
Well, there's a lot of renewed energy now because I think we've all been home for very long. But yeah, I think there's a lot of work that was pent up that had to be done. But I think there's also a lot of excitement because there were so many films that we shot for in the last year that are finally, going to be out there for the audience to watch. So I'm just excited that the movies are getting released and they're going to be out there because in the last 7 months of this pandemic, I think the one thing that kept me really hooked on to was content, was entertainment, was all the platforms that I was getting to watch this amazing content. I mean, movies from all over the world, shows from all over the world, and it just kept us kind of kept my sanity somewhere. So I'm happy that we do what we do because somewhere it touches a lot of people. And I'm glad that we're coming with Indoo Ki Jawani because December is that time of the year where you want something light, you want something fun. You're in that mode of celebratory mode. You're looking for a fun watch, and I feel personally that Indoo caters to that mood. So I'm hoping that it is that film that can just make you forget all your worries and just have a great entertaining laugh in the theaters.
You spent a lot of time on OTT, you said, in the last 7 months. Are you a slice and dice and dark, show watcher? Because very unlike what you do in real life or in the films. Or are you like...
Contrary to that, Guilty, which is a film that I did for Netflix and that released in March this year, was a very dark, gritty, edgy thriller. So I think I have tried that as well. But yes, this year there was some insane content. I mean, there was Patal Lok, and I'm currently watching Scab, and so many interesting films, so many interesting shows in the Hindi language, in other languages as well. So I've watched it all. I feel like I've consumed.
I was actually shocked as how much content was there. It seemed almost like every actor was working 24 hours a day.
I know, and it just seemed like and there were so many talented actors I discovered because I was like, where was this person? I mean, they were just so good. And there's so much talent. I mean, the writing, the direction, everything. I think there's been this influx of it, which is just so great right now. So that's a good.
You've had a career that's already had ups and downs, and you've barely started your career. So sometimes when you look back, is it still all like a hazy dream because you've got this 2020 in between that dream as well, which is like a nightmare for a lot of people. But 19 was brilliant and 2020 comes in. So you're actually just waiting to still explode. You've not really exploded as yet, right?
I mean, yeah, I think we're always waiting to explode. But 2020 has particularly been a tough year for everyone. For some more than others. But for every single person, there's not one person I know who's not had some form of hardship this year. But despite that, I think the way we've gone on with it, and a lot of people I know, and they've come out of their lows in this year, and everyone's fighting their own battle this year. But there's so much that you've kind of learned from this year. It was that much needed pause button because we were all running this rat race and we were all trying to better, and everything was about what's next and the future, and you're stressing about tomorrow. And I was like, guys, hold on, live today, make this present, make it all about this moment in the here and now. And I felt that was so important. So a lot of gratitude. I think that's what this year's taught all of us, to just have a lot of gratitude. And that's how I feel. I think more than exploding and all of that, I just feel really grateful that we're all safe, our families are safe. I think that's priority right now. So even going ahead, exploding on set, I've returned to work and stuff, but you're still cautious. You're still, making sure that all the precautions are being taken, because that's really what's important right now. Like the first thing I asked when cinemas were opening was, I was like, what's the plan? How are they going ahead? I was like, I want to know how it's going to be, how they're going to be, operating. And I felt like, okay, this feels safe. So, okay, maybe I would take my family and go. So that's when I was like, okay, great, coming back. Indoo's going to be one of the first films that releases. I'm excited, yes, but I have to be practical about the fact that we are living in times where you want people to feel safe and comfortable when they come into a cinema house to watch your movie. But I think the first, like for me, the first time I traveled, I took a flight. I was a bit apprehensive, but it was so
Of
smooth,
course.
and the
Yeah.
way, all the way the precautions are being taken, all the rules, everything went so well that I just felt like, okay, if I can do this, then I'm sure one by one other things can open as well.
So that's why I say there's this renewed vigor with everybody as well, which I like. Especially with you, there's something about you that is very magical on screen, which a lot of people have been, have always noticed. It can happen, that you think you know somebody because you've seen so much of their work. With you, the audience is still discovering that part of you. Sometimes you think that this beauty bit of yours stands in the way of them saying, okay, great performer also, not just beauty sometimes. Or do you think after Kabir Singh, you managed to just jump over that, and they said, great performer, great looker, it all works?
I think I got lucky with the roles that chose me, and I chose after Kabir Singh. So when Good News came out, it was a drastic change from Preeti,
Yeah.
right?
Loud.
She was this Punjaban, and she
Yeah.
was matching the energy of Diljit Dosanjh, who was we were playing the Punjabi couple in the film. And then came Guilty, which I don't think even I expected, to be honest. So I think somewhere as the audience is discovering me, I would humbly say I'm discovering myself as well. It does sometimes, I do feel like, wow, how did this director think of me for this part? But I think they've seen some potential somewhere here and there, and then they want to tap into it, and then I just surrender to them. But I think that's what's so beautiful about this journey.
It's also the times we live in, I think. It's everyone's experimentative. They're looking at things with a different lens, a very real lens also. So it's not just if you're pretty, we'll put you in a slot, which is probably what happened maybe about 10 years ago. I think that's where OTT has really broadened the horizon of the audiences that are watching. They can see you in various other modes and other moods as well.
And there are those, they are now writing characters for women which are that exciting and who are giving that edge. Or you have films which your main protagonist is the female. So I think with and you're right, with OTT, I think that is also changing. It is, people are more accepting of and they want to see more. I mean, I felt that recently when they said, no, but we want to see her doing more than just a song and dance. And in a way, that's a compliment. That does feel like, okay, they expect more from me now, and I'm going to challenge myself. I cannot, just think that that I can just do this way. I need to keep, finding new ways and just honing this craft and making sure that I can continue to surprise and to meet that expectation.
Kiara Advani, I mean, looking fabulous once again, but of course, so much has changed. Imagine 1 year and she's actually started thinking very differently because of various masterclasses and decisions based on her scripts that she was choosing before and after. So much more to ask, don't go anywhere, including my favorite topic. After one becomes a big success, like say Kabir Singh, do your commercial choices of films and do your own checklists as an actor, do they change? We'll talk about that, don't go anywhere. All right, you're back on Star Star with me, Salil, the lovely Kiara Advani for Indoo Ki Jawani with me. Kiara, thanks again for joining me. Are you actually honing craft? Are you doing workshops and those kind of things? A lot of people online in the last 7-8 months, apart from cooking and apart from learning other things, they also went into the other zone and said, let's play the piano or let's figure out our craft. Have you also been one of those actors that have added on to that repertoire?
Yeah, I mean, you have the time, so I think it was the best thing to do. I did a lot of master classes online. And I felt like, that it really just changed my perspective. It broadened my horizon, and, not just acting master classes, but like just seeing in all, not even just direction or writers or stuff, but just seeing everything, like random things I was seeing, even cooking, even, the masterclass app, it was so interesting to have that. So I just ended up seeing everything from makeup to cooking to everything. But that's why I feel like we've consumed so much on the internet. It's actually been, in a way, such a blessing.
Where do you think that you had the biggest gap in learning plus what you knew in all the master classes that you did?
The biggest gap from all those different ones?
Yeah, from what you knew and what you suddenly saw. You said, oh, I don't think I know too much about this.
I think it would have to be in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That was definitely like, oh, this is how it operates. Okay.
Yeah, but I think now that it's all opening out, the excitement's going to be there. Your first look of your own trailer, I see this great, very outward performance by you in the trailer, which is fantastic. It's good to see that also. When you saw it yourself, also, do you cringe at sometimes your own performances, or you're always like, wow, I love this, and I'm not going to be like, are you like that positive person who says, I just like everything that I'm doing right now, and let the public decide?
I wish I was that positive person. I don't think there's been a single performance, maybe guilty somewhere. I felt like, okay, I got this bit and that bit. But every other performance, I'm like, I wish I did this. Oh, shucks, I should have done that. I'm quite critical of myself. And I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. So long as it keeps me growing, I guess it's a good thing.
You know what they say, but the film is a director's medium, and they say that you should follow what the director says, and if he thinks you should jump off a cliff, for the scene, that's part of that's part of it, right? So you can't hold yourself responsible if you don't like what you've seen, because that's a director's vision sometimes.
That is absolutely true, because like the first person you want validation from as an actor is your director. So the minute he is okay with the take and he knows how he wants it. So it's the sur that he really chooses. You may say, okay, let me try this, that, the other, but the take he's going to take is what's his vision. So it's very important, I think, in that first narration to see whether you like that vision and you want to go ahead with it. But yeah, it is. It is. Film is a director's medium, and completely.
Are you easy to narrate to? Now that you're Kiara Advani and you're carrying a film on your shoulders, which is great. Congratulations on that. Are you easy to narrate to? Are you looking at a little bit more closely at the loopholes, or or you somebody just goes with the flow even now completely without any baggage?
So I think before the pandemic, I was a very instinctive person. And if I wanted to watch it, if I liked it, if my mood in the narration was half the battle won, I would understand if in the narration I knew whether or not this is something I want to do. Post pandemic, and I think with a lot of like seeing a lot of content, and like I said, a lot of masterclasses, I think I've got a sense of like the other things which I may miss. Which I till now may have not really paid attention to when I watch a film. Like I always look at this, or the little things in screenplay, or whether you believe in something or you don't, those kind of things. But I don't know. I think as a person, I'm just so instinctive that it's always my gut feeling. It's like, what is your?
But do you have regrets then? Instinctive people sometimes go, yuck, I shouldn't have done that.
No, because the whole journey at the end of the day is, I mean, it's all your experiences are a part of that journey. Nobody goes out there to make a bad film. Everybody goes with the intention that this is something you believe in and you want it to work. Then what happens along the way is something that's really not in our control entirely. So I can't be like, if I said yes, there was some belief in it, something that I thought in it. So I've never felt like, I've never had that regret. I feel like, okay, it's part of the journey, it's a learning, maybe it'll teach me something. All my lows, and I think that's why I feel my beginning, all the films that didn't do well, I don't regret a single one of those choices, because that's really my grounding. That's been the foundation. It's taught me a lot. And maybe it did give me that professional success, but personally, as an actor, whatever I could take out of it, I did. So it did help me in all the other films that I did. So no regrets, never.
Indoo ki Jawani is not going to have a box office opening, which is kind of, it's fun when you're like supposing playing cricket.
It's pressure. It's good.
Yeah, but I was just going to say, are you wondering, and if suddenly the responses are going to be great, online people love it, you're going like, shucks, I wish it had actually had an opening, because then you could put a number to Kiara Advani's opening, and then numbers change the game. It is a game about numbers. Even now for 6 months, you might not have numbers, or 7 months more. But now that you've seen the film, would you regret the fact that there is no business opening because you think it could have done really well for you?
I don't know. I can't say that. I really can't say that. I mean, right now I feel like in a way maybe good, like not that pressure of it. I don't know what my pressure would have been if it was a normal circumstance. But I just hope people like the film. I hope they enjoy the film. I think that's always actually been the focus. So that's what I'm hoping for.
There's a lot on you in this film. All the other films have, I wouldn't say crutches, but you've had other actors that you can lean on. Here, yes, there's Aditya, but there's a lot that is leaning on you, So when you were shooting this film, do you take any pressure on you at all? And Are you like sort of into the zone saying, look, I've got to carry this and I better not mess this up because, listen, this is Indoo and I'm Indoo, so I better make sure that I do it.
But like honestly, Salil, I felt like that for all of them. I mean, I know
Yeah.
we say it as we are a society which says, oh, like, we've got the male actors and stuff, but I think I felt much more pressure doing Kabir Singh and Good News and every other film as much as I must have felt in Indoo. I've never felt like, oh, but this one's on me. But why was that one not on me? That was also equally. Why not? I feel like, but why not? It shouldn't be like that. But I don't think while shooting you think of these things, right? You're not like, oh my God, mere upar aane wala hai, let me think. I don't know, maybe if I thought like that, I would pick better choices and things I do. But I just surrender completely. For me, the director it's his call. He's the captain of the ship, and whatever he wants is how we should do it.
I don't have Aditya. He's also another very pretty boy in the industry. Where the both of you, is there a lot of, offset discussions, or how are you on set? Are you somebody who's like switch off and then completely play games or, chat a lot? Because you seem like somebody who likes to chat a bit. So it's fun. Are you only like work on set and until pack up, or in between shots there's enough to like sort of jump into?
After backup, I go straight to bed. I'm one of those people. But from my call time to pack up, I like being on set. I think the whole vibe on set is nice when everyone's like a family together, eating meals together, between shots, chilling, chatting. It just keeps everyone's energy up. And I think we had a very young crew. Everyone, I think the average age on the set was in their, late 20s. So
Yeah.
it was a very fun, energetic vibe. Also, we were shooting 2 to 2, which was day going into night, so that you need each other to keep yourself awake and nobody suddenly can. And Aditya has great energy as well, so I think it just added to the whole vibe.
Are you somebody who's added a few things to your, your checklist? Say post the Kabir Singh and the Good News success. Sometimes it happens, when you say, okay, I've got like 3, but now I've got 5 things that I want to make sure that is perfect. And from the outside, it could be perceived like she's changed post the success. But personally, do you notice a difference in Kiara Advani before and after those 2 big films?
I feel Kiara Advani before Kabir Singh was a lot more chilled out. And Kiara Advani after Kabir Singh, I overthink more now. I think that's what success does. It's easier when you don't have it sometimes. So I try not to think. I try to I don't think I take it as, I don't even feel like until the audience or like I get a fan or, they come up to me, it doesn't hit me. Sometimes I like very recently this happened. I was actually shooting in Chandigarh and somebody continuously was calling me and said, and it was an unidentified number, so I didn't answer. But I got a message saying, we are from KBC and there's a big fan on your show and Mr. Bachchan wants to speak to you. And I was looking at my phone, I was sitting in the van and I was like, guys, somebody actually has the guts to send me this fake message. And it was a real message. And I was a fan on KBC. Mr. Bachchan wants to speak to me. I didn't believe it. And they were looking at me, why are you so surprised? I'm like, because I was like, I don't know, does it happen? I don't think it happens. They're like, yeah, like, you are an actor. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, of course, let's do this. And it was such an overwhelming moment. I think I was so much more like, struck than probably the fan or like what was happening. I think so that's when it's very humbling. That's when it's really heartwarming. And that's the only time I feel like, okay, this is really special.
You deserve every bit of it, but I haven't seen any big purchases being made. After every big success, their houses being bought and the fancy cars being bought and all those various things. Why haven't we seen that? Are you very, very strict with your money or your negotiations are very bad? Because I have a feeling you've tripled your numbers by now.
Right now, I'm only buying masks and sanitizer. I mean, I'll spend when I want to spend. I don't know. I don't think I have such big.
But no, a lot of people with success, everything changes. You've got 50 people telling you now you should be doing this and you should be asking for this. Are you somebody who relies on other people for that and you've got like a professional team? Or in your head, you're going, no, listen, I don't want to outprice myself out of the market. Because a lot of the times that happens to a lot of actors that get success and then you're seeing not too much of them in the next 2-3 years. It was a big issue that used to happen many, many years ago. So have you also thought about that as well and had the right people advise you on that? I know you all have the right a group of people that give you the information, but how much are you taking in?
So I've actually had the same professional team with me right from the beginning of my career. So they know me
Wow.
from literally before even launching my first film to now. And they stayed with me through. So I think even if I ever had to get a little bit like too big for my boots, they would put me down. Or sometimes, we have that. I think we're not. I think I trust my team, and that's why I've had them for such a long time. So it's a great working equation, and they're like family, and I trust them, and I'm glad you're seeing a lot of me, so I must be making some right choices.
Yeah, good luck to the team. You've kept them for so long. It's awesome, yeah. What about the critics now? Now it's online. It's not the janta that is going to be out there. The love will come on your Instagram and social media handles. But when the critics have their say, you're one of those few actors and actresses that have really had a relationship with the critics in a very short period of time, especially with Kabir Singh. So do you now see or read everything, or you let it go? Because Akshay Kumar sir does that. He doesn't read them beyond a point of time. And you've worked a lot with him. Have you followed that mantra from him, or do you read every single review
I
that's written?
want to follow that mantra, but I'm human and I can't help myself and stop myself from like, okay, what did so and so say and so and so say? You want to know. It does pinch you when you don't get that great review because you feel like, oh shit, but I've worked so hard for it and all of that. But everyone has their opinion and that's how it is. But I think there's some people who I read because I think I like their understanding of film. So there's something I want to take away from that. Constructively, I will. Most people I don't because sometimes they stuff which is really nothing to do with the film and they go into personal attacks and then I'm like, but that's not even like why you talk about someone's personal life or whatever. So then of course then it's a little stupid to read into that. Um, but yeah, I mean the critics will say what they have to say, but I'm looking forward to what the audience has to say.
I'm looking forward to seeing these kind of films in the big theaters. Like I said, it would have been fun to actually see this in the theater. But December's a great time, and Kiara, you're on a bit of a purple patch. Congratulations on that. May you keep flying on that purple patch and carry it forward to the box office. You know what they say? If you carry the luck with you, every single producer will be lining up at your doorstep, and it'll be good fun to see. The whole team will be super happy.
Time round as well. So 11th December, I shall have a date with you in the movie theater.
And that was that, ladies and gentlemen. 11th of December. Yeah, it's a date with all of us. No box office collections there, but yeah. So, like I said, like she's also been saying, keep it real. Don't just hound just because you feel like, right? Because she's a human being as well. I'll see you again soon on Star Stop. Remember, B4U Entertainment is where you want to go every Friday, Thursday night, Friday, because it obviously gets uploaded all over the world at different times. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel and you can see it there. Bye-bye.